I sat down on the couch and felt the cold metal against my skin. My belly folded over my belt buckle. That was the moment I knew I had a problem. If you've been there or somewhere close to it, this video is for you. I'm going to share 3 simple changes that got me back into shape after years of trying everything wrong. Growing up, I played 3 sports, was always moving, and never had to think about losing weight. Then, in college, I built some bad habits. I drank too much beer, I worked out less, and ate, well, like a college kid. At 30 is when I had my belly on belt buckle moment. I knew I couldn't live like this. I had to get back in shape, reclaim the athlete I knew myself to be. I wish I could say it was easy, but it wasn't. I went down the path of chasing stupid things like wanting to look like fitness pros, which only led to comparison. That never ends well. I remember doing everything the fitness world told me to do, tracking every gram of food, dragging myself to the gym for 2 hours, 6 days a week, cutting carbs until I was miserable. And after 6 weeks of all this effort and sacrifice, I was exhausted, hungry, and still had nothing to show for it. But that's when I started to think about my high school days, when I was fit without even thinking about it. So I developed a new plan based on what I did back then, and not only did it work, it got me in the best shape of my life. Plus, it actually felt easy. Not right away, but as I built some key new habits back into my lifestyle, it all just became automatic. I didn't have to think about it. I just had to repeat it consistently. And that's what I want to share. It all came down to 3 key changes. The first thing I did was identify that I no longer play 3 sports a year, or AKA move a lot. Now I had a desk job where I spent far too much time sitting. I needed to find ways to move more. But this is where a lot of people make a big mistake. They choose an exercise they hate and they think they need to do it 7 days a week for an hour or more. If you try to do too much too fast, it will become unsustainable and increase the likelihood of injury. Also, if you don't enjoy the exercise, you may do it for a while, but in both cases, you'll burn out and quit. So choose something that you actually like. Biking, hiking, kayaking, jogging, or something else. Just move. It doesn't have to be fancy, and gradually build up. Every morning I start my day by walking for 20 to 30 minutes. It helps me wake up, I break a light sweat, and I start the day moving and burning some calories. Walking is one of the most underrated exercises out there. Simply shoot to build up to 6 to 10,000 steps a day, or 1.5 to 3 miles. But if you want something to challenge your inner athlete like I did, you need to try jump rope. I hadn't done it for years and I was horrible, but it gave me the same feeling playing sports did. I wasn't just working out. I was building skills to get better. I was reclaiming my athleticism. There was so much progress to be made and so many fun things to learn. Within a few weeks, I was actually looking forward to it. And that had never happened with any workout I had tried before. If you choose jump rope, here's my recommended starting point. Simply set a timer for 10 minutes and practice. This helps avoid overuse injuries like shin splints. And when the timer goes off, that's it, you're done. Then you can gradually start building that time up as your stamina and skills improve. Above all, consistency is the most important thing here. Your goal is to become someone who moves multiple times a week and break a sweat. The next thing I did was I started paying attention to how I was eating. Here's where most guys I talk to are sabotaging themselves without even realizing it, and it's not what you think. When my wife and I started doing an every dollar financial budget, it really opened my eyes to what we were doing wrong. This meant we determined where every dollar of our monthly income was going to go, whether spent or saved, before the month started. This way we had a plan and knew exactly how much we had to spend in the different areas of the budget. I quickly realized that what was destroying our finances wasn't big purchases. It was a coffee a few times a week, a snack here or there at gas stations. None of these things by themselves was a big deal, but when you added them all up, it crushed our budget. The same thing happens with your eating, but don't worry, we won't be tracking calories. Let me ask you a question. How often do you pay attention to how many calories are in the thing that you're eating? If you're anything like how I was, the answer was never. Can you imagine spending money the way you do calories? Completely zero regard for any budget? That would be crazy because you'd go broke real fast. In order to lose weight, you have to eat in a calorie deficit, or less calories than your body burns in a day. But how do you achieve this without tracking? Simple. All I want you to do is start paying attention to the things you're eating and how many calories are in them. Then I want you to start identifying the highest calorie things and reduce them or eliminate them. I'm talking about liquid calories like soda, sugary coffee drinks, energy drinks, and fruit juices. Low-filling snacks like candy, cookies, crackers, and trail mix. Avoid fast food, highly processed meals, and alcohol. Alcohol is full of calories and destroys your body's hormones in recovery. In fact, I challenge you to stop drinking for just 30 days and see how you feel. All of these things add up faster than you can imagine. The trickiest part for me was when I was stressed or even just bored. That's when I'd wander into the kitchen, grab whatever was easiest, and just eat mindlessly. That was my biggest leak. Once I identified it and swapped out what was in the cabinet, half the problem was solved. Now, I'm not a huge fan of eliminating things completely because that can backfire and cause binges if it's something you really crave. So if you're eliminating something that you know you really need to stop, try finding a healthier substitute that will satisfy that craving. The key is to substitute low volume, high calorie foods with high volume, low calorie foods. An example from my life is that I love potato chips, but they pack a lot of calories in a small amount. I've found that a 100-calorie bag of popcorn satisfies my chip cravings, fills me up more, and limits me to less than 100 calories because not all kernels pop. Over time, you'll replace or eliminate more and more things, learning that you didn't really need them in the first place. And more importantly, you'll stop the guilt and shame of caving to those things and be able to snack guilt-free on the things that keep you moving toward your goal. The next thing I did was focused on rest and recovery, but I'm not talking about chilling on the couch. In college and even at 30, I stayed up way too late far too often. I was constantly exhausted, my mind was foggy, and I didn't feel like I had enough time. Again, I thought back to my athlete days, and specifically, game days. If you want to put yourself in a good position to perform your best, it starts the night before. You need to get quality sleep. That means 7 to 9 hours per night. Oh, I can hear it now. Kyle, I've never slept that long. I'm lucky if I get... Stop it. It's doable, but you need to start making the effort to set yourself up for success, and it's simple. When I played sports, because I was moving so much from practices, I was beat come nighttime. That's why moving is so important. Too many people think they don't sleep well, but it's because they actually have pent-up energy and stress they need to get out. Anyone with a dog knows you need to get them outside for a walk and to play or they'll go crazy. Same goes for you. Do the first step of moving more and you'll sleep better. But that's not all. Develop an evening wind-down routine. Here are some tips to do this. Your body likes consistency and it needs to get used to going to bed at the same time every day. So set a consistent bedtime. 60 minutes before bed, dim the lights and do some light reading. This lets your body know it's bedtime. Avoid alcohol. It's a massive sleep disruptor. And reduce fluids an hour before bed to avoid middle of the night bathroom visits. And probably the biggest issue of all, reduce screen time 1 hour before bed, or at least wear blue light blocking glasses. And specifically avoid social media because it's so easy to get sucked into an endless scroll for an extra 30 minutes to an hour or even more. If you start doing these, I guarantee you'll start falling asleep faster and you'll sleep better, which means you'll have more energy, better workouts, better recovery, be a more present parent, worker, and it will feel like you add more time to your days. Once I had all three of these locked in, I realized they were part of a bigger 6-step system. So I made it into a free mini course where I walk you through each step to cut out the confusion and keep you moving forward. The athlete you were hasn't gone anywhere. He's just waiting for you to put it all back together in the right order. You can download the free course below. But if workout consistency is a struggle, I've got you covered. In this video, I break down the 11 most common reasons people fail and exactly what to do instead to break the cycle forever.